Um, the software will launch. Just a minute. Yesterday we discussed about single user and multi-user and check-in and check-out and types of framework we discussed yesterday. And today we are going to discuss about Tosca life cycle. Today we are going to discuss about Tosca life cycle. Tosca life cycle. In this Tosca life cycle, we have a different types of modules is there. In the Tosca life cycle, we have a different types of modules is there. The first one is the requirement. The second one is the module. And the next one is the test cases. The next one is the test case design. And the next one is the execution list. And the next one is the issues. These are all life cycle Tosca. You guys are observing here in this requirement, we are able to provide, for example, I need to log in the application. I need to log in the application. If I want to log in the application, first of all, I need to do launch the application URL, and after that here I need to provide login information. I need to provide username and password and login information. See, this is the requirement. How you guys are able to write the requirement in Tosca software? Verify the demo web shop application login is properly working or not. Verify the demo web shop application login is properly working or not. The login is properly working or not. You guys are also this requirement related information. This requirement related information, we need to scan all objects. We need to scan all objects. What is the first one? The first one, you need to scan login. Next one, username, password, and login. These are all information you need to scan under module. Under module. Once you guys are scan the all application related information, we need to provide, we need to create one test case. One test case. Before creating the test case, in this test case tab, we need to create one folder. In this test case tab, we need to create one folder. In this test case tab, we need to create one folder. Once you guys are create the folder, under the folder, we need to create test case. Under the folder, we need to create test case. And after that, the test case, you need to execute. If you want to execute the test case, this test case, we need to drag and drop. This test case, we need to drag and drop in execution list. And what about the test case design? If you want to pass any data, through sheet, okay? If you want to pass any data through sheet, we need to use test case design. The test case design, in this test case design, we are able to create different types of sheets. From that sheet, we need to send data to test case. Once you guys are sending the data from test case design, we need to execute the test case. How you guys are execute the test case? If we want to execute the test case, we need to drag and drop in execution list. Once we drag and drop in execution list, we have one format it should be displayed. And after that, when I execute the test case from execution list, and how many steps will pass, how many steps will fail, we are able to find from issues. This is the Tosca life cycle. You guys are able to understand or not? Please tell me, guys. You guys are able to understand or not? Shall I repeat again? Respond, guys, please. You people are able to understand or not? You are unable to understand. I will repeat one more time. Hello. Okay. See, Tosca life cycle. What is the Tosca life cycle? If you want to automate any application by using Tosca software, how to automate any application by using Tosca. The life cycle will explain clearly. If you want to automate, you need to follow Tosca life cycle. What is the life cycle? What is the life cycle? The first one is in this Tosca software, requirements is available. Whatever the customer was provide that requirement, we need to provide inside of the requirement tab. Whatever the customer was provide that requirement, we need to provide inside of the requirement. For example, the customer will provide verify demo web shop application login is properly working or not. This is our requirement. If I want to automate that requirement as a tester, you need to understand the requirement. Once you guys are able to understand the requirement, it is possible to automate. Once you people are able to understand the requirement, and you need to choose the module tab. You need to choose the module tab. In this module tab, we have one module, main module folder is there. Under this module, we need to right click and create a folder. Once you guys are create a folder and right click, and you need to choose the scan. We need to choose the scan, and here you need to scan your expected application. You need to scan your expected application. Once you guys are scan your expected application and go to requirement. What is the requirement? What is the requirement? The customer need to validate. The customer need to validate the demo web application, the demo web shop application, login is properly working or not. How you guys are able to validate? You need to first of all scan the login and click on save. And next one, you need to scan username and password. Click on save and login and click on save. Once you guys are provide the application related information under module. See guys, once you guys are provide the application information under module, you need to drag and drop this module inside of the test case. Inside of the test case. How you guys are able to drag and drop. If you want to drag and drop modules inside of the test case, you need to create one folder in test case level. We need to create one folder in test case level, and after that we need to provide one test case. How you guys are provide the test case? Right click on folder whatever you create in earlier and click on this one, create a test case, then it should be displayed. If you want to rename, right click on your test case, click on this, you are able to rename. See guys, once you guys are create the test case, after that what we need to do, if I want to validate the application, first of all I need to launch application URL. How you guys are able to get this open URL? Right click on your test case and click on search and add a test step. How you guys are able to add open URL? Right click on your test case and click on search and add step. When you guys are add the test step, it should be displayed. It should be displayed the test case related information. First of all, you need to enter open URL and select. When you guys are select, here it should be displayed. Here it should be displayed. And after that, in this URL location, you need to get the application URL. We need to get the application URL. That URL we need to paste here. That URL we need to paste here. And after that, once we launch the application, what I need to do? I need to 1 minute. Yeah. Once I launch the application, after that, I want to do click on login button. Click on login button. This information already I stored inside of the module tab. Go to software, open the module, and this is the login. Click on login. Once you open the module tab, this login, you need to drag and drop. You need to drag and drop inside of the test case. Inside of the test case. Once you guys are drag and drop login, what type of action I need to apply? We need to apply click action. Here, what type of action I need to apply? Click action. Once I click the login, it should be displayed email and password. Once I entered email and password, click on login button. Click on login button. If I want to do, these are all things before execute the scripts. What I need to do? I need to drag and drop from the module. Why? Because already I was scanned this related information. Already I scan this related information. You guys are observe. Go to software and click on login info. And this one, sorry, click on module. This is the login info. And drag and drop inside of the test case. This is the login info. Once you guys are provide login info, you need to provide email and password. Email and password. Once you guys are apply the email and the password, we need to click on login button. We need to click on login button. This is the requirement related information. Requirement related information. The next one, test case design. If you want to provide this data, anilkumartesting57@gmail.com. If you want to provide this data, basically, this is the hard code. This is the hard code. Directly, we are able to send the data. If you want to send the data, we are able to send the data inside from test case design. Here, we are able to create the sheets. We are able to create the sheet. In this sheet, we need to create the attribute. We need to create the attribute. Okay, see, you guys are observe the test case design. By using test case design, able to provide the data to particular test case. The test case design able to provide the data to test case design. Test case design. And after that, execution. If you want to execute any test case, the test case you need to drag and drop to execution list. You need to drag and drop to execution list. Once you guys are drag and drop to execution list, here we are able to execute the application. Here we are able to execute the application. See guys, you guys are observe. I need to extend. This is our test case. Just I need to rename. Okay, see, and once I drag and drop, when I created 7/18/2023 7.36 time, this is the time. Everything will be record when I created. If you want to execute, right click and you need to provide run. Right click and run. When you guys are provide run, then automatically the browser will launch. Then automatically click on login. Click on login. Then automatically enter the username and password. Click on login. The test case is pass. The test case is pass. Okay. See, test case is pass means you are able to enter the data or not. Okay. See, you guys are observe when I was execute, this I was executed in this time. In this time. Okay. This is the process of execution tab. Once I execute the tab, if you want to create any defects, if you want to create any defect, for example, login is not working. If you want to create any defects, and here what we need to priority and severity and defective type. Okay, defective type. This is the process. Once we got defect, this is the configuration. This is the configuration. What is the configuration? If you want to create any data folder level, if you want to create any data folder level, we need to provide configuration. Okay, and test planning. Create a session, test planning. Once we got the requirement document, we need to create the scenarios under test planning. We need to create the scenarios under test planning. Under test planning, this is we call Tosca life cycle. And one more thing, last class we discussed check-in and check-out. Check-in and check-out. You guys are observe, when you guys are right click here, the test planning, once we got the requirement from the customer, the requirement related scenarios we need to create under test planning. The requirement related scenarios we need to create under test planning. Once we got the requirement, as a tester, you need to analyze for this requirement how many scenarios we are able to create. For this requirement, how many scenarios we are able to create. As a tester, you need to analyze. As a tester, you need to analyze. This is the process. And after that, check-in, check-out. We discuss when you guys are open the workspace, that is checkout, need to update or insert some data. And check-in, when you guys are exit from the software, then automatically whatever you modify, whatever you insert, whatever you update, everything will be stored. Everything will be stored. Everything will be stored. That is we discussed last class. Coming to the checkout. Checkout. For example, this is one folder. If you want to modify folder level, if you want to modify complete inside of the folder, whatever you provide, if you want to modify folder level, what is the meaning of the folder level? Whatever you provide inside of the folder, we are able to modify complete folder. How it is possible? When you guys are select the checkout tree. When you guys are select the checkout tree, you are able to modify anything under this folder. And if you want to modify only test case, you need to use checkout tree. If you want to modify test case, see under test case, open URL, login info, everything we are able to modify by using checkout tree. I no need to modify remaining login and login info. I want to modify only open URL. Listen. I no need to modify login info. I need to modify only excuse me. Yeah, I need to modify only open URL. If I want to modify only open URL, we need to choose checkout. Checkout. We need to choose checkout. Once you guys are modified, and you need to select the folder and click on the check-in all. Check-in all. Everything will be stored. Everything will be stored. Okay, that is the point. Next point. In this your team, in this team, 4 people are working. 4 people are working. This is the new framework. This is the new framework. If you want to share this framework to remaining 3 people, if you want to share this project to remaining 3 people, here we have one option is there. Update all. Update all. When you guys are click on the update all, when you guys are click on the update all, those people also able to get whatever you create the new scripting. Whatever you creating new scripting. This is we call updation. This is we call updation. You guys are able to understand? It is clear or not? It is clear or not? Anybody, any doubt? Guys, you have any doubts? All right. Okay. All right. Okay. See, what is the difference between the checkbox and radio button and image and text box and edit box? Okay. The next one, we are going to discuss about Tosca life cycle is done. And next one, check-in, checkout is update all and check-in, checkout. And after that, we are going to discuss about difference between okay, not difference. What is the difference between buttons? What is the difference between different types of buttons? What is the difference between different types of buttons? Okay, the first one, radio button, check box. The next one, input box. The next one, edit box. Okay, radio button and check box and input box. Okay, and image, and yeah, these are all different types of buttons. These are all different types of buttons. What is the difference between the radio button and the checkbox? Tell me, guys, anybody? You know that one, but some people don't know about this one. That's why I will explain. Okay. Who are having knowledge about the difference between the radio and checkbox, please text me here. Who are having the difference between the radio and a checkbox, please text me here. Please text me here. Okay, I think you. Okay, all right, very good. See, guys, the radio button, we are able to select only one option. We are able to select only one option. The best example, gender. The best example, gender. The checkbox, we are able to select more than one option. We are able to select more than one option. What is the input box? What is the difference between the input box and edit box? What is the difference between the input box and edit box? Yes, tell me, guys. What is the difference between the input box and edit box? Do you have an idea or not? You guys are able to understand my question? What? Okay, all right, no problem. I will tell you. Very good, Babani, sorry. Input box is nothing but whatever you enter the data, you are able to enter the data or not. See, whatever you enter the data, you are able to enter the data or not. This is we call input box. This is we call input box. The next one. Whatever you enter the data you are able to remove or not. The data we are able to remove or not. That is edit box. That is edit box. That is edit box. And coming to the image, if you want to select the image, how you guys are able to select the image, I will tell you later session. If you want to select the image, how you guys are able to select the image, I will tell you later session. This is what we call the difference between different types of buttons. The difference between different types of button. Is it clear or not? It is clear or not? It is clear or not? What was completed now? Last notes. What is the last heading? What is the last heading in your notes, guys? What is the last heading? I will tell you notes, guys. Please tell me what is the last heading, what I was complete. Framework. About T-box and those. Classic. Am I correct? Yeah, all right. Yeah. Types of frameworks. T-box is completed, guys. T-box is completed. Type T-box framework related information is completed or not? Okay. T types of frameworks. Types of framework. Types of framework. Right now. There are different types of frameworks is there in Tosca software. There are different types of frameworks is there in Tosca software. Just a minute. Yeah. See, guys, types of frameworks. We have a different types of frameworks is there in Tosca software, or else the Tosca will provide different types of frameworks. We have a different types of frameworks is there in Tosca software, or else we have a different types of frameworks is there. The first one is T-box. Second one is classic. The first one is T-box. Second one is classic. The first one is T-box. Second one is classic. Okay. Yeah. Put the heading T-box. T-box. Put the heading T-box. Yeah. The Tosca, the Trisent is developed, T-box framework. The Trisent is developed T-box framework by using the Trisent is developed T-box framework by using C#, and Java and JSE. I will repeat again. The Trisent is developed T-box framework by using C#, Java and JSE. Okay, JSE. Okay, JSC. Next line. If you want to automate any application, if you want to automate any application, we are able to automate by using T-box framework. We are able to automate by using T-box framework. If you want to automate any application, we are able to automate by using T-box framework. Next line. For this framework, we no need to create anything. For this framework, we no need to create any folder structure. For this framework, we no need to create any folder structure. For this framework, we no need to create any folder structure. Next line. Next line. When we are creating the workspace, there we need to select the there we need to select the T-box framework checkbox. When we are creating the workspace, there we need to select the T-box framework checkbox. Okay, that's it. Next one, put the heading classic framework. Put the heading classic framework. Classic framework. Yeah. Write down. The Tricentennies developed classic framework. The Tricentennies developed classic framework. The Tricentennies developed classic framework by using Visual Basic VB script. By using Visual Basic VB script. This is completely we are able to use. This is completely we are able to use in real-time process only. This is completely we are able to use in real-time process only. Next line. The free software unable to provide this type of the free software or open source. The free software or open source unable to provide this type of facility. This type of facility. This type of facility. It is clear? It is clear or not? The next heading. The next heading. Tosca life cycle. Tosca life cycle. Tosca life cycle. Okay. Tosca life cycle. Yeah, write down. There are a different types of pages is there in Tosca. There are a different types of pages is there in Tosca. The pages will explain. There are a different types of pages is there in Tosca. The pages will explain. The pages will explain. The pages will explain automation working process. The pages will explain automation working process. Automation working process. Okay. Take the screenshot or draw this one. I will explain one by one, every module. Take the screenshot or is done. It is completed or not? It is completed, guys. Please respond. Yeah, done. Write down requirement. First one, requirement. 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 In this Tosca software, we have one requirement tab is there. In this Tosca software, we have one requirement tab is there. Okay, full stop. Next one. In this Tosca software, we have one requirement tab is there. Okay, we have one requirement tab is there. Full stop. Yeah. In this requirement tab or yeah, in this requirement tab, whatever we are able to test, in this requirement tab, whatever we are able to test in this requirement tab, whatever we are able to test, that information we need to provide. 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 Okay, next one. Module. 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 Under this module, the requirement related all information, under this module, the requirement related all information we need to scan based on the we need to scan based on the business flow. Business flow. Based on the business flow. Business flow. Okay. Put the heading test case. Test case. Test case. Yeah. If we want to create the test case, if you want to create the test case, if we want to create the test case, we need to create one folder. If we want to create the test case, we need to create one folder in test case level. In test case level. In test case level. Next one. Next one. Under this folder, we need to create one test case. Under this folder, we need to create one test case. Under this folder, we need to create one test case. Okay, next line. Once we create the test case, we need to launch the browser. We need to launch the browser. We need to launch the browser. Comma. If you want to launch the browser, right click on your test case, right click on the test case. If you want to launch the browser, right click on the test case, select the test configuration parameter. Right click on the, see guys on the screen, right click on the test case, select the test configuration parameter. Test configuration parameter. Okay. Next line. Here we need to provide browser name. Here, see guys, see on the screen. Right click. See guys, here we need to provide browser name. Here we need to provide browser name. Next line. In this browser, we need to launch the application URL. In this browser, we need to launch the application URL. We need to launch the application URL. Next line. If you want to launch the application URL, we need to use existing method. If you want to launch the application URL, we need to use existing method. We need to use existing method, that is open URL. We need to use existing method, that is open URL. How to get the open URL, guys? How to get the open URL? Right click on your test case. Yeah, write down. How to get the existing methods. How to get the existing methods. How to get the existing methods. Right click on the test case. Right click on the test case. Select the add test step, search and add test step. How to get the existing methods? Right click on the test case. Select the search and add text. Okay. Here we need to enter your expected method. It should be displayed. Okay. Here we need to enter any existing method. Then it should be displayed. Okay. How to get the methods. Okay. Open URL is completed. Okay. Open URL is completed. Remaining I will discuss tomorrow. Only open URL is completed. Remaining I will discuss tomorrow. Any doubt, guys? Do you have any doubts? You guys need to, as early as possible, you need to get the Google Classroom link. I will provide everything. And at the same time, I will discuss how to install the Tosca software. How to install the Tosca software. Okay. Any doubt? Any doubt? Do you have any doubts, guys, regarding today's session? Thank you very much, guys. Have a nice day. I will continue tomorrow. Bye.